everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be reviewing the Chevy Silverado Trail Boss Custom, aka Chevy's affordable off-road truck. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Signer Chevy here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 18 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So one of the cool parts about the Trail Boss is this raised section here in the center that's blacked out. Definitely gives it a distinctive look. Now, since this one is the custom, you guys can see you've got the halogen lights and then Chevrolet here with the grille all blacked out. You got the red toe hooks down below, also to signify it's a Trail Boss, and then notice the bumper is blacked out. And so putting it all together, it has that sporty off-roader appearance with the front end. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 65, 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see with the wheels darker in coloration to kind of go with that sporty theme. You do have a 2-inch suspension lift from the factory because it's a Trail Boss. And then I like the all-terrain tires, really aggressive. Blacked out Z71 badge here on the side. And then notice this one actually has side steps from the factory. And then the mirror caps door handle is also blacked out. And then here is your full side view with the Trail Boss. Now, taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start. We also have the drop down for the tailgate, and then you guys can see the Chevy bow tie there on the back. Now, popping into the bed, you guys can see this one has the multi-flex tailgate here. So it does pop down to be a step. This does have a 375 pound weight limit to it, so that's the only downside with this particular tailgate. But putting it back together is pretty easy. I'll do the rest of it in just a moment. Now, as for the rest of the bed, you guys can see we've got LED lights here in the bed. We also have a full power outlet down below as well. And yeah, space back here is good. I like that it's all protected from the factory. And then lifting this up, pretty straightforward. Just put it all up in one go. Now, taking a look at the taillights here, you guys can see pretty cool design. And then notice with all the badges here all blacked out. You got the bumper step down below, and then the bumper itself is blacked out as well. And then putting it all together, let me guys think about the overall looks here with the Trail Boss. Now, taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see pretty basic with the material use, and then you've got storage down below. And then here's a quick look at these seats, all cloth here. As you can see, we do have some more storage underneath. Flat loading floor. Legroom here in the back is solid. We also have a little storage pocket. We've got some vents back here, USBs, all of that, and then headroom. It's good. Taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see, again, with the more basic material use, we've got all of our window controls here. Notice this one's automatic. Mirror adjustments, and then you can see the mirror right there. And then when it comes to capability, 1,620 pounds of payload capacity, and then towing capacity is 9,200 pounds, and looks like we have a B. Now, taking a look at the steering wheel, a little bit more basic with the material use. No radio controls in the back, just cruise control there on the front. And then we've got our turn signal windshield wiper stock, and then we do have a column shifter, plus and minus on that column shifter, so you can shift the gears yourself. Mostly analog gauge cluster here. We do have that little screen there in the center, which you can use this little dial here to scroll through the different menus, which is kind of an interesting thing. We also have the tall haul mode that'll pop up there as well. And speaking of tall haul mode, you've got that right here. We also have our driveline select. So notice we have a 2-speed transfer case as well as 4-wheel drive auto. Got all of our light controls here and your parking brake down below. And then in reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Resolution with it's pretty good. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, smaller unit but responds quickly, as you can see. So I think that's a big plus. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Got some physical shortcut buttons just down below that. Single zone climate below that, and then you guys can see with our lane departure here, auto stop start, tailgate drop down, hazard light, stability control, hill descent control, trailer brake controls, and then all of the little charging stuff happening here. And then we do have a double glove box, as you can see. Again, more basic with material use. And then in the center we've got the bench seat. Notice the cup holders here, pretty cool. More storage underneath the seat. And then with the front seats, again, cloth just like the back. And then we do have a manual mirror dimmer. Now there's quite a bit of glare, so it's gonna be hard to see the window sticker, but anyways, after all options, $58,805 is the total price on this Trail Boss Custom. Let's see how it drives. Okay, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, to the rest of the rear. And, well, this is going to be a shorter test drive, and the reason this is going to be a shorter test drive is I just did the driving for this review, and my GoPro decided to do a time lapse instead of normal filming, and so yeah, I was already out of time, but now I'm like mega out of time. So yeah, we're gonna do a shorter drive. I'll still give you guys the impressions that I got from the initial driving. Sorry about that. Happens sometimes, technology failing us. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Anyways, seat comfort with this is pretty good. I mean, you know, Chevy seats are on the little bit on the firmer side, but still a comfortable seat overall, nonetheless. And then, you know, with the Trail Boss Custom, you have the same shocks and suspension and everything as the more loaded up Trail Boss, so it's comfortable. The suspension is comfortable. And then, you know, aside from that, this one has the 5.3 V8. They did also have a 2.7, but I decided to pick out the 5.3 V8 because I feel like you guys will like this a little bit more. But if you want me to do a review on the 2.7 Trail Boss, let me know and I can get a review on that as well. Good torque. Gotta love that V8 power. It's pretty impressive. It's not the fastest on the planet, but I mean, it's got some pretty strong power. The damping, it's nice. It's a comfortable vehicle. It drives well. It definitely drives well. Yeah, I like the responsiveness with this powertrain. That's something that I think is very impressive, is the responsiveness aspect of it. I did this to save time, and we have people backing up in the middle. What is wrong with Salt Lake? Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah, so I like that part of it. And so to sum things up, I think the Trail Boss Custom, when it, you know, first came out, it made a lot of sense, right? It was an affordable off-roader. Now at almost $60,000, it's kind of confusing. And I think that it seems like Chevy's pushing people to buy more loaded up trucks, because a fully loaded Trail Boss is like 70 grand, less than 70 grand. And so it's like, you know, if you're already going to spend $60,000, might as well spend $70,000 and get a much nicer truck from an interior perspective. Exterior looks a little bit cooler. Yeah, the off-road capability is going to be pretty much the same, but yeah, it really does seem like with the pricing scheme, seems like Chevy is pushing people to buy the less loaded up vehicles, or sorry, opposite, more loaded up vehicles, and to not buy the more baseline vehicles. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know your thoughts on the Trail Boss Custom. Would you go for this, or would you just, you know, pay the extra money and go for a more loaded up Trail Boss LT, for example? Let me know what you think.